So what's going on guys, Kate is here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you everything that you need to know as beginner in Tower of Fantasy. So I will give you a quick overview of the combat system. Then I will show you how does the food work in this game, then what challenges you want to complete, which daily and seasonal quests are the best, how can you level up very fast and much more. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then first of all, let's go over to the Tower of Fantasy combat. There are several types of features that can influence the actions of your combat and the way that your character will be acting. So one attack type will be totally different from another one. In simple terms, your character will use 3 different weapons, and the main gameplay is made around using one weapon to build up your meter. Then switch to the second one for big buffs and a huge damage, and then you rinse and repeat. So in general, there are 5 combat attacking types. The first one is called Phantom Time, and this will make your character dodge an enemy attack before there's a monster that launches a hit on you. If you dodge the attack, it will result in the Phantom Time trigger, and in generally it will build up the original energy of the weapon. If a player switches up their weapon, it will trigger a combat attack in the game. Then the second one is called Combination Attack. So let's say for example that there's a fully charged target that wants to attack you. So then if you can switch from one weapon to the second one, this will perform a big damage combo against the enemy. Then the third one is called Elemental Restrain, and in this attack type we use specific skills to activate the elements that will trigger the most damage possible. This is usually really useful when you come across different monsters in PvE, because each enemy has its own weaknesses, so then you can use them to your best advantage. Then the next one is called Physical Shield, and when you're experiencing a shield breakage, that means that your RNG has failed, and your physical shield may fail as well, and in return you have a random chance to take more damage. I usually recommend to use the elemental weapons if you need to do a shield breakage. And then lastly we have the non-attribute shield, and in this type of attack you will see no elemental resistance, which means that you will need to use specific weapons to take the advantage of the monster's special weaknesses. So then let's move over to the food, and in this game different food will give you different buffs. So food is usually used to refill your HP, increase stamina, resistance, elemental damage and much more. Basically food can recover the player's hunger points, and in this game it is very important. The way it works is that when you start the combat, after the first 5 seconds your character will start consuming his hunger points, which will give you HP back. After the combat you can regain 1 hunger point after every 5 minutes, and then later in the game the more you play the more hunger points you will get. So then basically from 1 to 30 hunger points you will get 2% HP regain every 2 seconds. Then from 61 points to 100 you will regen 5% of your HP and much more. If a player ever gets to 0 hunger points, then you won't be able to regain your health back. So before each fight, always check your hunger points. So in Tower of Fantasy there are many activities and challenges that you can do, and at the start it might be overwhelming, so here I will give you the best activities that are most fun and will give you the best rewards. But after you finish all of them, I encourage all players to go explore the world and try at least once every single challenge in the game. So then first of all, for PvP players I recommend to try out the Pinnacle League. This is a PvP arena that has equal levels and soft caps. So even if you enjoy some pay to win, in PvP you can't get an advantage over the enemy by just spending RWL money. So if you want fair PvP, then this is the place for you. Then for PvE players I recommend to try out the Previous Phantom. This is a dungeon that every single player should try out, because it's fun, beginner friendly and you will get useful materials that will help you out to upgrade your gear. Then another fun activity is the ability training. If you would like to play some mini games from the Tower of Fantasy, then this dungeon is the perfect place for you. Basically you will be able to play a few mini games, and then after you finish all of them, you will get upgraded materials for the chips and weapons. And then last but not the least, I recommend to try out the Energy Beacon. So this challenge is basically where you can place some beacons in open world, and then you can check back every 24 hours for a chance to get upgraded materials for your weapons and much more. So then moving over to the Tower of Fantasy character creation, and you can of course create your own character, male or female, with very in-depth settings like hairstyles, face and costume customization and much more. Your character's strength will be shown as the battle power, and it will increase each time you level up and get new gear. And as well, you can upgrade your current equipment and collect powerful allies and rare weapons. to increase your power even more. So then as far as your weapons go, in this game you can find a lot of weapons and a lot of them have their unique roles, elements and also skills to use. When you use one of these weapons on the enemies, you will fill up your weapon meter, aka the bar, which then will give you the ability to perform your ultimate skill. Generally, weapons are categorized in 3 different types. Blue colored weapons are the R graded weapons, then purple colored weapons are the SR graded weapons, and then lastly the orange colored weapons are the SSR weapons. Overall, the SSR is the rarest, and when the weapon reaches high rarity, its stats also are going to be improved. Completing the game's main storyline will allow you to have your weapons, and there is also a summon method to have them earned as well. If you want some higher grade weapons like SR or SSR, they can be gained from the summoning system, while the storyline can only offer you the R graded weapons. Characters can be equipped with 3 types of weapons from the different elements or with the same element as well, but my personal recommendation is to use your heroes with several types of weapons, and try to use multiple types of elements as well, because each element you will be able to use against the different monsters. So then instead of being strong only against one mob type, you will be able to be strong against 3 different mob types by using 3 different elemental weapons. So then moving over to the Tower of Fantasy PvP, and in general there are 3 activities that you can do. The first one is called Apex League, and this mode is an arena where all players get capped and put on the same level. The players in this mode get 2 lives, and the last man standing will win. During the Apex League, your relics and weapons will be raised to the highest level. So as I've said, there's no pay to win in PvP. Then moving over to the second activity, which are duels, and you can request another player to fight in a 1v1. Duels are not equalized and you will be able to use all of your armor, mattresses and much more. And then lastly we have the Break Fate. This is the last mode, more commonly known as Battle Royale. So players get to decide to play in a solo mode or trio, and then when the match starts, all players spawn across the arena, you have time to find weapons and gear, and then the last man standing or the team will win. So then moving over to the Tower of Fantasy Infinite Climb, and if you're not aware then yes, like in Genshin Impact you can climb the walls. In general you can climb walls when you haven't spent any endurance, and you can do it easily by just double jumping on the wall and then grab on. Different ledges are usually blocked from the vertical climbing, so you can first do a backward dash. The second movement for it should be jumping and then forward the dash. If you want to have an attack from the wall, then try to use the submerged aerial. For keyboard and mouse users, you can easily keybind this, so doing double jumping, grabbing and as well the forward dash. When you activate this feature, it allows you to move fast with the most engaging keys, WASD, and for the rest of the movements, you can set the key as you want. So for easier movement, you can keybind all of your settings. So then last but not the least, let's move over a few tips and tricks that will help you out in your adventure. So then first things first that you should do as you log in the game is to complete the storyline. There is a limit on how much of the storyline you can play. Once you reach the storyline cap, you will have to wait a few hours to play it again. This is done to keep all the players around the same level. So make sure you do it as the first thing, since most of the game content must be unlocked by playing the storyline. On the first day, the maximum level you can reach is level 18. Any XP you get after that will go to waste, so make sure you plan what you do around it. So for example, after reaching level 18, I suggest not doing anything that is mission related and things that don't have a specific time limit to complete, like opening chests. However, you can let your level 18 bar fully fill up, so the following day you will be able to start at level 19. There are 2 types of XP gaining ways in the game. The first type is that things that you can do only once and they will not be available in the game again. And the other type are the ones that refresh daily. These are ones that you can farm after reaching level 15 with the storyline. Then the next thing that you want to do once you hit the storyline cap for the day is bounty missions. They will be refreshed every day and they have large XP rewards that will help you to reach the daily level cap, and when you complete them more, you will increase the level of your bounty missions, and these ones will improve your rewards a lot better, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Tower of Fantasy guides or tutorials that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video, so take it easy, peace.